The story of the psychic competition between the US and the Soviet Union is like the chicken and the egg. Some say the CIA heard the Soviets had psychic spies, so they launched their own programs in response. Others say the US was first and the Soviets were responding. Either way, both superpowers created well-funded, super-secret programs focused on ESP, or extrasensory perception. In other words, psychic espionage. A skilled remote viewer would be the perfect spy. They could go anywhere, see anything, completely undetected. Remote viewing means the end of state secrets. Really, the end of all secrets. But remote viewing didn't start out as a military intelligence project. It began as a research project. In 1972, two scientists, Hal Puthoff and Russell Targ, launched an ESP program at the Stanford Research Institute, or SRI. Then they started looking for volunteers and came across Ingo Swann.
Oh, hey, what do you call a fat psychic?
Please don't.
A fortune teller.
Ingo Swann claimed to be a great psychic. Puthoff was skeptical, so he set up a test. The team had access to a large magnetometer, which can detect slight variations in magnetic fields. Swann had no idea what the machine was. Even though it was buried under 30 feet of concrete, he could see into the device and describe it. He was able to sketch the magnetometer readings. Then he was able to affect the readings. This was good and bad. Good that Ingo proved his abilities, but the purpose of the magnetometer was to detect Soviet nuclear tests. Affecting the output set off alarms all over the lab. The experiment almost got them kicked out of Stanford. But the experiment caught the attention of the CIA. They didn't care that Ingo could move the needle, but the fact that he could see through superconducting shielding buried in 30 feet of concrete, well, that was a problem, but also an opportunity. The CIA quietly funded SRI's research and had them focus specifically on remote viewing, and Ingo Swann became known as the father of this technique. Initial experiments were mostly successful. Ingo could identify images and seal envelopes. He could project his consciousness to different places and see hidden objects. But this didn't help the CIA. They needed him to view specific locations, Soviet locations. So Ingo Swann and the SRI team created the Scan8 protocol. Project Scan8 was remote viewing by coordinates. Here's how it works. You give a remote viewer longitude and latitude coordinates, and you tell them nothing else. Ingo Swann could see what was at a given set of coordinates with remarkable accuracy. By the way,